Street Fighter have had its fair share of quote-unquote broken characters, but I don't know if any character have ever left people as salty as this guy over here.
Right now going, oh my god!
Look at that! That's a man who just won, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, this is MC Mura and today we're talking about Abigail. Specifically Abigail from launch Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, a character that, although his reign of terror was only a couple of months old, he certainly left an impact.
Really dangerous, so deadly for her. Here we go, this is your guess for game.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna get the stun, okay. Just need to beat the guess for game. Guard break. He's gonna get whatever damage he can. He gets OP of this situation.
Abigail came out during Season 2 of Street Fighter V, and although people realized that he was good back then, it wasn't until the launch of Street Fighter V Arcade Edition when Capcom really buffed him that he started becoming a big problem. Abigail, as you would expect, is a character that have a ton of HP. He had the most health points in the game, and this also is a character that dealt massive damage. This combined with his V-trigger meant that this is the king of comebacks. You're never safe against Abigail.
Fine. But he still has that V-trigger to be able to be activated right now. And he's gonna go for the EX command throw. Okay. Big damage here. Look at this damage. Oh!
Oh, he's got her, he's got
gonna
her.
say, oh, but he parried! He
So
parried
smart.
the Nadeshko!
Cool pin. Let's go! What an incredible choice.
And the thing about Abigail is that his tools also kind of defied your expectations. You think that this is a character that would struggle against zoning, but it's actually quite the opposite. He has the back heavy punch, which would nullify projectiles, and he gains EX gauge in the process. He got the giant flip, which will go through fireballs and it will knock down on hit. And if it's on block, he is still blessed, so he gets to keep his turn going, and he have many moves that he can use to armor through your strings and zoning. And on the ground, Abigail is also absolutely terrific. His normals got amazing range and all things considered pretty decent speed as well. His jabs in particular are extremely long and annoying, and you would expect that a character like him would be whiff punishable and have a ton of recovery, but not really. His hurt box didn't extend that much, so he was a very dominant and honestly annoying character to deal with. Besides, he also has a standing heavy punch, a long range normal that if it happens to crush counter, it will cause a crumble state, and he gets to do a dash up combo follow-up. And when it comes to the air game, Abigail was also no slouch. His jumping arc was so shallow and that made it really difficult to anti-air him. Typically he needed a low profiling move to deal with his jump, and because his jumping arc was also so short, if you're up close to him and are trying to grab him, he could simply jump over you and now you have to deal with his cross-up and his mix-ups. And when it comes to himself, he also got terrific anti-air. His standing jab was such a dominant anti-air, and the result of it is you would be right in front of him and will have to take his mix-up. You have to deal whatever he's gonna do at you, whether he's gonna go for a meaty or a command grab. You had to guess just for jumping at him. And if that didn't even work, he also had a parry that will cause him to follow up with a combo and get even more pressure on you. But everything I've talked about so far wouldn't necessarily make Abigail busted or broken in any sense. Well, that wasn't the full story, because there were 3 pillars to Abigail being such a powerful character in this version of the game. The first one is his absurd crouching light kick and light confirms in general. The second one was the command grab, specifically the EX command grab that led to follow-up combos. And the third, well, it's his V-trigger. Abigail in general always had very powerful block strings once he's up close. His standing medium punch was very blossom block, very easily hit confirmable into his back heavy punch, but his crouching light kick was truly crazy in this game. You see, this normal was 4 frame startup, so it is his fastest move. It combos into itself, it was +5 on hit, which meant that it comboed into his standing light kick for great confirms. It also meant that it was very difficult to back walk out of Abigail's pressure, and remember what I said, it is special cancelable, because I will get into that a little bit later. Just keep it in mind. Back then, Abigail's command grab got a lot of range, way more than it did at the later versions of Street Fighter V. The regular one did good damage, but the EX version was problematic, and remember, back then there was also no additional scaling for combos starting with grabs. This meant that you are getting a combo juggle from Abigail, and remember, this is a character with a ton of moves that can keep the juggles going, so you're gonna eat a ton of damage. Hey, I'm not gonna talk, just check out this clip.
To where he wants to be. Cool kid,
He's lost a
certainly
lot of
is.
stage already.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, he wants to be full screen.
Oh, trade.
Activate. Uh-oh.
Command throw into the flip. Oh my, what?
He's dead? Oh my god, he is gone! It's gonna be match point for both players.
And all of this brings us to his V-Trigger, which possibly could be the most broken V-Trigger in the history of Street Fighter V. This was a 2 bars V-Trigger and install that buffs Abigail damage by 15% all across the board, and it lasted for 46 seconds. The most damaging character in the game gets a 46 seconds 15% damage buff. Yes, and it gives him armor properties on his heavy punches where he is able to charge them and get armor on the process, and guess what? They also guard break. The issue is that Abigail also had a lot of moves that move him forward, makes him very close to you, and he activates V-triggers from, whether that is his sweep, his crouching heavy punch, or the back heavy punch target combo. All of them put him in a situation where he either will command grab you and this could lead to massive damage, or he will crouching light kick into the giant flip, the EX version, and this will launch and he will get additional combos. And if you try to V-reversal, he also have armor, so he can absorb your V-reversal attempt, armor through, get the crumble, and get massive combos. Abigail just approaching you and activating his V-trigger put you in potentially the most risky mix-up in Street Fighter V ever.
Huge damage. This actually might be enough. Oh, humanity.
And if all of this wasn't enough, the fact that his charged heavies would cause a guard break on block meant that effectively Abigail can checkmate you in many scenarios if you don't have a reversal option ready. So in many cases it was just take the hit, don't try to escape, and the hit would lead to Oki where you will have to guess one more time, or if you flinch, well, GG's, that is the game. Obviously, the outcry for Abigail nerfs were massive, and Capcom actually did listen and did a mid-season balance batch where they did nerf Abigail. There is like 2 pages worth of nerfs for this character. They targeted his crouching light kick and light pressure in general, made it non-cancelable, and he doesn't get as good of a sequence on hit. And they nerfed his health, they nerfed his stun across the heavy moves, but the character would still do really well. Itabashi Zangief made it to the grand finals of Capcom Cup with him, but he did lose to Gashikon, and in the following season they would proceed to reduce the range on his command grab and make his V-trigger 1 is 3 bars V-trigger instead of 2, which was crazy that it was 2 bars to begin with, and over time Abigail became less and less relevant, but he would still make some splashes here and there. And that is the story of how Abigail pretty much held Street Fighter hostage, became the most dangerous giant character, and certainly one of the most powerful grapplers in the history of the Street Fighter games. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, if you wanna see more of this. It took a lot of time to research because unfortunately there isn't a version select for Street Fighter V, so I had to really dig deep for all of this footage. Sorry for the cool kid, because he is all over the place. The guy did amazing with Abigail that year, and he is an amazing player anyways. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment, help the channel so much. We'll be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.